1 week after a gunman opened fire inside the Target store at 178th and West Center, Project Harmony hosted an event called Healing Together in order to help anyone impacted by the active shooter event. Dozens showed up for the event as mental health professionals were on site to give some insight about the emotional impacts that people may experience after such a traumatic event, along with resources in case anyone is in need. Counselors also provided strategies for parents so they can help their kids.
It's okay not to be okay. Everyone's going to respond differently to this, and you may respond in your own time frame. And there are some things that you can sometimes see in others that it's hard to see in yourself, is about when people are noticing changes in you as a response to a traumatic situation such as this, and that there is help available for that.
Counselors were also available for one-on-one sessions tonight for anyone who was in need.